Good evening, Professor. I am Michelle Tyson. The skill that I chose for this final project is the hand release push-up. As you've seen from some of my writing, my interest right now, my focus is on the new events for the Army's Combat Physical Fitness Test. Previously, a little bit of background. Previously, we only had a 3-event test. It was push-ups, sit-ups, and a 2-mile run. The push-ups and sit-ups were as many repetitions as possible within 2 minutes. And then the 2-mile run, of course, at as fast as you can. So with the new 6-event test, a lot of it, in order to prepare for it, is focused on high-intensity interval training. The skills are more technical and require more specified training compared to what we're used to. You could just wake up one day and, oh, you want me to do some push-ups, sit-ups, and run 2 miles. Too easy. So with the hand release push-up, we, as far as positioning, with the regular push-up that we had before, you could place your hands wherever it was comfortable for you. But of course, as I'm sure you're aware, research has shown that causes, the wider you have your hand placement, that causes more issues for the rotator cuff. So now with the hand release push-up, I'll just do a quick demonstration and some of the key points that we have to focus in when we're training this skill. So the hands, your fingers have to be interlocked and fully extended, and then your forefingers actually have to be in line with your shoulder. So it is a strict tricep push-up. The starting position is on the ground in a prone position. Again, having those forefingers in place in line with your shoulders. Your feet can be up to 12 inches apart, but no further. And this is the starting position. So on the command go, when we're getting tested on this skill or this movement, you raise your body as one single unit, drop back down. The arms have to be extended out so that they're parallel to the body and the surface. The hands should not touch the ground. Again, bringing your hands back in, making sure you move your body as one single unit, drop back down. That's another repetition. So, as I am training someone or trying to get someone better at this skill, some of the cues, if I feel that they probably need to regress, go back a little bit. When we get into the feedback and freezing of degrees, which are the 2 questions that I chose to discuss in my paper. Feedback, so augmented for knowledge of performance while they're performing. I'm going to let them know if their body's moving as a single unit, if they're remembering to place their hands, because, as we get through more and more repetitions, it's, as they're trying to hurry up and get them done, then they're going to stop focusing on where those hands are placed. In that event, that repetition would not count. So the good thing when we're being evaluated on this skill, you do have a grader right next to you. So they are providing that external feedback, knowledge of performance, letting you know how you're doing, what you need to correct while you're performing this skill. Knowledge of results, that would come kind of at the end. They count for us out loud during the event. So that's going to tell the athlete how many push-ups, hand release push-ups that they have completed. And then the knowledge of performance, the athlete is able to use that external feedback and make corrections as necessary during the performance. That repetition that they got corrected on just would not count. For freezing of degrees, again, back to that, if the athlete is not strong, they're not executing the movement properly, we would start off doing shoulder stability drills. So by doing shoulder stability drills, that is going to freeze the joints for the hips, the legs. They're not going to have to engage their abdomen, their core muscles while they're completing the exercise. They will strictly focus on the shoulders and building up those rotator cuff muscles. As they progress through that, build up shoulder stability and strength, then we can move on to doing hand release push-ups on the knees. With that, again, the hips and the lower body is going to, those joints are going to be frozen. The focus will be on strict shoulder and tricep or pectoral muscle movements to build that strength to get their body up. And then as they progress, of course, we'll be doing the engaging the entire body to move it as one unit and do the actual hand release push-up. Shoulder stability drills, as they do that and as they go through the different steps when we freeze the degrees of motion, that's also going to help them build up proprioception so that they can understand how they should be executing the movement, as well as being able to self-correct. Like one of the articles that we were reading, athletes start to, or they could become dependent on having that external person, you know, hey, your body's not moving in a single motion, you're not bringing your arms straight out parallel to the ground, your elbows aren't locked when you go into the up position, you're only kind of going 3/4 of the way up, whatever the case may be. One of the best things about the military, as far as this specific movement, when we do the drills during regular physical fitness training, we always do partnered drills. So we're constantly getting that feedback so that we can build up muscle memory and try to be aware, because as it's a time event and we're being tested on it, it might throw that person off. It's going to affect their motivation. And then, like another article we discussed, it's going to cause that micro choking. So, you know, if they continue to do it wrong, someone is always going to be, you know, that coach is always correcting them, and they're going to start focusing on what they're doing wrong, lose track of focusing on the exercise itself, and the clock is ticking away. So they're going to run out of time. And me personally, I get a little bit irritated. Hey, I don't understand what the heck I'm doing wrong here. But as we do these drills, it builds up muscle memory. They start to be self-aware, again, that proprioception, so that they can make self-corrections throughout the exercise. One of the best things I found about this, it's fairly easy to do in front of a mirror. So you can kind of build up your own self-confidence and skill and go through that mental checklist to make sure that everything is moving properly, so to speak. So with the freezing in degrees, we have used that quite a bit. Even though it caused shoulder issues, putting those hands out wider, a lot of soldiers felt that made it easier. You know, the wider they had their arms out, they didn't have to raise their, or may have felt like they didn't have to raise their body quite as far off the ground. And then, you know, the shorter soldiers are always, I don't have to move that far. And the tall soldiers are like, I have 200 pounds to raise 3 feet into the air for a push-up. But this kind of levels the playing field, so to speak. It is a big change. However, using the tools that I've learned throughout this class, we're all going to get there. We're going to make it through this new 6-event CrossFit competition feeling like physical evaluation. Thank you for everything this semester, and I look forward to working with you again because I have a couple more classes before I complete my master's. Take care, Professor. Thank you.